guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego. You also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Titles supports global charities like One Tree Planet and Trees for the Future to help with the afforestation effort. Your title pack gets you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land in a private estate in Scotland. Your certificate features a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And right now, Established Titles is holding 200 plots of land right next to mine. So come join me in the Bad Guy Inc. Kingdom. Getting this certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit card, put it on your plane tickets, or if you're so inclined, put it on your dating profile. Makes for a great last-minute gift, and there's even couples packs that come with adjoining plots of land. Established Titles is having a great limited-time sale. Go to establishedtitles.com/Chael to save 10% off today. Remember to use the promo code Chael, or just click on the link below. 155 pounds is on display, guys. I mean, let me just tell you how important this match is with Chandler versus Poirier. Okay, let me tell you the importance, not share my opinion. Let me tell you what can't be argued. The night they booked Madison Square Garden and decided we must reveal this to the audience. There's a formula over there at the UFC, how many days, how many weeks, I mean, real specific down to the minute that they will release information as it pertains to when the event is going to be held. As it pertains to what's called an on sale, meaning you can line up and get tickets to the event. It's very, very precise. And the day that came out, they knew that they had the Women's World Championship. They knew that that was going to be up for grabs. That's not the match that they attached to the card. They did not know at the time they did it that they were going to have Adesanya and Pierre. They were working on that. They knew the strawweight title would be up for grabs. They did not attach that. They did not announce it. They announced Poirier versus Chandler. There was even a rumor, hey, listen, if we end up getting the middleweight fight done, we're still going to keep Poirier and Chandler as a 5-round contest. Now, that is a rumor that is largely perpetuated by me. I'm just sharing with you guys that was said. And I went back and confirmed that in front of you. I typed that in front of you 3 days ago into a Google search. And the first item that came up said it's 3 rounds, but the second item said it's 5. So that's not a rumor that I made up. We then went to Mark Raimondi at ESPN.com to clarify that it's 3 rounds. None of that is relevant to the point that I'm attempting to make, which is quite simply, that's a big match. That's the match that they were willing to go on sale with. That's the match that they were willing for the media to grab and run with. So 155 pounds is on display. Now, I think that we have decided. Now, here's the problem when we decide something, guys. We are 15% of the market. If the industry only had us passionate, us ones that love, the industry turns the lights out and they're broke. We're 85%, what's known as hardcore. I think that number needs revisited. I think we now represent closer to 20%. However, the point is we're not enough. It does seem to me that we have decided that Benny Dariush needs to get an opportunity to fight for the belt. Problem. Right now, we've done the right thing. We're showing an integrity to the sport. We're showing an appreciation for the greatness that we have witnessed, for the risks that were put on display for our entertainment. We're doing the right thing. Volkanovski's moved into the weight class. What are you going to do? Right, we're stuck. We can't give it to Benny. Okay, but we can do the next best thing. We can put Benny on the same card. And we can put him in a very clear number 1 contenders match if things go his way. We're going to have to put him against Charles Oliveira. I'm only sharing this for you because there's a lot of moving parts. All of the things that I just said, all of the things that seemed to make sense did not involve a competition, and it didn't involve anybody throwing a punch. So if you're one of these purist pricks that has no idea how this business works, but you love to cling to it's the competition, not the words out of your mouth. If you like to say that, I'm telling you that you're going to get your way, but there was no punches thrown. It's going to be done through the power of the pin, and we're going to get Charles, and we're going to get him opposite Benny, and we're going to make it a very clear number one contenders match. That was what we're going to do. Now, we're confronted with something else. Midterms are over. Are you guys following the world around us? Do you follow politics at all? Because I'll tell you, there's a couple of rules there as well that you need to follow. One of the rules is if a candidate ever says, I'm suspending my campaign, I'm pausing my campaign, I'm not pulling out. I'm not saying I don't want to do this. I'm just saying I need a break. If they ever do that, they are done, and they will never come back. I could cite for you over the course of my life, but then you would have to go and Google and look up names like Ross Perot that was in the absolute lead and are gone. You cannot pause and then come back, period. So what do you do when you have a Charles Oliveira, who the people decided they really like, who has a story that we've decided is very compelling, who has a skill set that took you to the championship of the world? Arguments that you were better than Khabib. What do you do when his response is, I'm taking a break? What do you do? Because you sure as hell don't wait for him. You sure as hell don't say, okay, we'll hold the division up, and then whenever it's convenient for you. That's not a knock on Charles. We just did that to the great Jon Jones. And before that, we had the greatest George St. Pierre say that he's done. We took him at his word and we moved on. Somewhere in between, Henry Cejudo did the same thing. We took the belt off the sumbitch and we moved on. That is what we do. And we're not wrong to do it. But what does happen if you're Team Charles and you put out to the world, I'm taking a break? A break from what? And what is it you're taking a break from? You're only called to work 3 times a year. What is it you're getting a break from? You need a rest from all of your rest, and I'm not turning on Charles. Charles is a real simple solution. We do the right thing. We match him up with Benny. We give the phone calls. Do you still have that same mindset? If you don't, no problem. We'll pretend it was never said. We'll make the date and we'll move on. But what do you do if your champion says it? Because Aljo said the same thing. I'm taking a break. A break from what? From what? And there is answers to that. These guys are not wrong for saying it. They were being candid and they were sharing with us. It's the weight of the world. Every 5 seconds, their phone is going off. Somebody's pulling them in different directions. Timeout, right? Everybody needs to have a day off. Problem is, if you say it, what happens then? What do we do to a contender like Charles who says, I need a break? And we're going, man, you're barely working as it is. Or what do you say when it's the champion? A little bit of a harder spot. What do you do? I can tell you in the world of politics, they don't come back. I can tell you it's a really tough spot when you're out there fighting and you're pining for something. When your client, what are you stopping from? You don't want to go into the gym. I mean, I do understand that. I used to go to the gym when I was doing daily doubles. Now it's the same drive, past the same stuff, in the same weather, with my same windshield wipers on. Going in, it's the same smell. It's the same hello. It's the same. I mean, in all fairness, I used to love that. I used to look forward to it. I'm going to learn new stuff. And over time, it gets a little bit redundant. And you can freshen a guy up. You take one of those workouts, you don't do it in the gym. You take one of those workouts, you go do it in the park. You go do it in a different location, in a different gym, in your garage. There's ways to freshen it up. It's tough. Everybody has to deal with it. But do you see the difference? You think all of those politicians that just got elected and that just raised, you think they didn't need days off? Some guys did and some guys didn't. They all wanted days off. They all needed a break. They all felt it was too much. Some of them said it and some of them didn't. The ones that said it are out of contentions. The ones that didn't got elected last night. These aren't Chael's rules. I'm making observations and I'm sharing them with you. And as you apply it to our sport, because there's not a punch being thrown. For Charles Oliveira to default into Benny Dariush as Dariush is on his way up into a number one contenders fight. If you're a true purist and you just want to hold and you can even watch these fights on mute. I mean, if you're that level of stupid, I still have to deal with you, right? Like there's nothing I can do. I still have to deal with you. But there's no punches that are going to be thrown to get that match together and to get Charles one win away from being into a world title fight. It's all going to be done with bureaucracy, the power of the pen, and politics. So do you want the opportunity or don't you? A smart man knows what to say. A wise man knows whether or not to say it.